Hi, my name is Alejandra Salas. It is also Alejandra Salas. It's also Ali Salas and Ale Salas. Um, Alejandra Salas, Alejandra Salas, was the name that my parents both gave to me um, whenever I was born, and that name came about because my grandmother was actually walking around the street in Costa Rica one day, and she ran into a friend, and they were talking, and it came up that my mom was pregnant, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, like Alejandra is such a beautiful name. Like you should like tell Susanna like to name her daughter that, right?" And my mom just kind of ran with it. She was like, "Okay, like sounds good to me." And so yeah, that's what I became. Um, Whenever I looked it up, my name means strength. It's like it derives from like Alexander the Great, which is interesting to me because I've always felt that the name Alejandra or Alejandra was very like strong and like came across almost as aggressive, which I don't think is the right word, but is the word I'm using. It was a word like the name was only used fully. Typically, whenever I was in trouble, my parents would use it as a way of scolding me because at home I go by Ale, which is spelled Ale. It's the same way I spell Ali, just Ale. And I started going by Ali in pre-K. And I don't remember making the decision to do that. I don't know if it was something my siblings decided who are older than me and had been like calling me that because that's how I guess they pronounced it in English. Or if it was something that the teacher in pre-K could not say my name, and out of my own personality of not wanting to complicate things for people, not to be a burden, I just kind of decided to go by Ali because it was simpler. Which is really interesting that the general meaning of Alejandra means strength, because I feel like I've made myself so small and just calling myself that. And I still like going by Ali or Ale, but it's just interesting how I never force people to fully say my name. But yeah, I think a question I would have for like myself, I guess, is why I ever started going by Ali, other than the fact that it made things easier, why I was just so quick to go by that, because I go back and I look at my writing or my work from when I was in younger, like elementary school, and everything I wrote like Ale, Ale, Ali, Ale, Ali, like everything. Nothing ever said Alejandra unless it was something super important, like my report card or something like that. But now in college, I still go by Ali, but my boyfriend, who is also Hispanic and speaks Spanish, he calls me Ale, which I think is super interesting, and I think it's really sweet because it's like only my family has ever called me that, and so having somebody that's not in my family or like somebody outside of that realm call me by a name that's so familiar to me has been really sweet. But I just wonder why I've never let anybody else call me that, which I guess I could answer it in the sense of like nobody's ever wanted to call me that because it's different, I guess. But yeah, so I think instead of like letting my name continually be butchered even by professors who don't even bother to like correct themselves, I think I just need to continue to be like, no, like my name is Alejandra or Alejandra even. Like sometimes I just don't even like the way Alejandra sounds because it just doesn't sound very feminine and doesn't sound like beautiful. It sounds better as Alejandra. But I think that's one of my goals for this year is to just force people to say my name. So yeah, thank you so much for listening.